So I'm here doing the first maintenance after, so this is 1 week after we set up. So that video you saw of me setting up all the equipment and filling it up, this is exactly 1 week after. And I'll be here every week doing this tank, just water changes, and and I'll eventually, once the plants really fill in, trim also. But I give you guys a little update today, so it's looking actually really good. I'm actually surprised, especially with, after a week. This is probably one of the best tanks I've ever seen after 1 week, at least my personal setups. And I can kind of show you guys right now. So like the pinophilia, look how much it's already grown in 1 week. That's actually surprising. Usually, the plants need time to adjust, and it's usually about the first month. After a month, that's when the plants really start taking off. And of course there is CO2, but actually I don't know if it's even been running that much because it's off right now. And we're using that ADA one, obviously, so I have to actually hand turn off. So basically I just leave it on 24 hours, which no big deal. It's just the only thing that's messing that up is cost, using a lot of CO2 that's extra during the night. But with that setup, you really don't have no choice. So eventually I'll put a better setup on here with actually a regulator to where I can put it on a timer. But this is just like a low cost tank at the moment, even though, we are using ADA products and stuff. But it's stuff I already had, so yeah, we'll eventually invest into a CO2 setup that's way better for this tank, and better for me, and then better for this tank in general. But yeah, so I don't know how long because obviously it's a little turn valve, so obviously I barely had it turned on, so I don't know how much CO2 actually was getting injected. But I mean, apparently it was doing its job, because usually like the stems are already putting on growth, and usually that doesn't happen after a week. But even the S. repens, everything's basically has grown since I last been here. The only thing that doesn't look like it's changed is, a lot of the epiphyte plants like the Anubias and the Boost, but those are slow growers in general anyway, so you're not going to see much growth out of that. But yeah, the monos, I see two of them out there. They're doing pretty good. Surprisingly, I shouldn't have done this, and you shouldn't do either, but I actually put them in the second day I set this tank up. So day number 2 they were put in here, and you should never do that. Don't ever do that. But with running CO2, it detoxifies the ammonia, which some people don't even know, but it'll detoxify ammonia up to like 8 ppm. And if your pH, well, I say CO2, it's not the CO2 that's itself that detoxifies ammonia. It's when your pH is 7 or below is when ammonia is way less toxic to fish. And so when I say running CO2, usually when your pH is lower than 7, you usually are running CO2. So most people don't know that. So yeah, that's why I was able to actually put fish pretty instantly. Not fish, but inverts, which you shouldn't do anyways, because inverts are way more sensitive than fish are. But they're doing fine. And yeah, obviously having the already cycled canister filter obviously helped big time too. So obviously it's not truly a new setup. So having an already established filter on here, that definitely did a big play on this. So it's not too surprising, but it is cool seeing stuff thrive only on day 2. But that's something I don't recommend unless you know what you're doing. But yeah, the S. repens, you can see kind of how it's already basically like coming in how I want it to look already. You can kind of see what I meant by like the S. repens kind of like going through all the cracks and growing in. It's looking really nice. You can see how big I mean, that's literally already doubled in size. I don't know how, but the pinophilia back here really grew, which that's by the CO2, so that's probably why. But everything else seems like it's about the same size. It looks like it got a little bigger, those other pinophilias. But yeah, I'm doing a water change here right now, and that's all. I'm not really going to show you guys any of that. I just want to kind of talk to you guys and show you guys a little update on this. But the Cardia looks like it grew a little bit. It looks like it's still establishing itself, but you could definitely tell it's like definitely opened up a little bit more and looks a lot better. Looks a lot more green. But yeah, that's a little update on here. Usually, yeah, like right here, see the white phase or haze on this rough. Usually you get that white hair or fuzz, whatever you want to call it, on new driftwood like that. And it's no big deal. It's perfectly normal. And usually you can get it really bad, or sometimes it can be mild. This one, it seems doing pretty good, but also I do have monoships in here, so clearly they're going to town on that stuff. So if I didn't have the monoships, it'd probably be pretty bad in this tank, just because it's new driftwood. That's just what happens with driftwood. When it hasn't been in water before, it just creates that white haze. No big deal, but perfectly normal. But yeah, so yeah, you guys see when this starts growing in, I want to make this into like a big bush in the back, and then basically everything else will just stay the same. Obviously, we don't want it like too big of a jungle, but we'll definitely let the stems grow, and then like I'll have to try to keep the S-Repens trimmed, and the pinophilia definitely trimmed up a little bit more. This one up here I don't mind getting big just because it's at the top, but some of these I'll have to, you know, keep a trim on. But yeah, you can tell it's gonna look pretty neat. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. And I probably won't do an update weekly just because that's probably too much unless something's really changed. I just want to do a week update, you know, the week after, just to kind of update you guys. But now I'll basically just do another update sometime. Maybe we'll just do a monthly update then, but maybe I'll do one in another 2 weeks when stuff's actually growing. So when stuff's actually, you know, establishing, and, you know, especially the stems are the big one, when those get pretty tall, then I'll definitely guys update you guys again. So maybe 2-3 weeks we'll get you guys get another update. And then from then on, then we can do like what we normally do on our regular schedule with the rest of our tanks, you know, do that monthly update. But so yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think. If any other questions, comment down below. You follow my Instagram at JJ Aquariums. They can DM me there if you have any questions. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one.